HK-416, Delta's signature rifle, a gas piston variant of the M4 platform, developed with the unit's own input in the early 2000s. Unlike the direct impingement gas system used in older M4, the HK-416 uses a short-stroke piston, which runs cooler and cleaner, giving it a reputation for reliability in the sustained, high round count operations the unit is known for. Operators typically run a 10.4 to 11-inch barrel for close-quarters mobility, almost always paired with a suppressor to reduce both noise and muzzle flash during night raids. M4A1 carbine, the standard-issue carbine across most of U.S. special operations, still used alongside the HK-416, depending on mission and era. It's lighter than the HK-416 and easier to maintain in the field, which is why some operators and eras of the unit favored it even after the HK-416 became available. MK-18, CQB-R, a shortened carbine variant built specifically for close-quarters battle, inside buildings and vehicles, where a full-length rifle is too slow to maneuver. Its shorter barrel sacrifices some long-range accuracy and velocity in exchange for a weapon that can be brought to bear almost instantly when clearing a room. HK-G3, an older battle rifle used historically by the unit in its earlier decades, before the shift to modern carbines. Chambered in a more powerful round than later carbines, it reflects the era when the unit was newly formed and drawing heavily on European small arms doctrine. HK-MP5, the classic close-quarters submachine gun that defined hostage rescue operations through the 1980s and 90s, prized for its accuracy and controllability. Firing a pistol-caliber round from a closed bolt made it exceptionally accurate compared to other submachine guns of its time, which mattered enormously in scenarios where hostages were standing close to a target. Glock 19, the near-universal sidearm across U.S. special operations, chosen for reliability and a slim frame that conceals well for low-visibility work. Its compact size compared to full-sized service pistols makes it easy to carry concealed under civilian clothing, a requirement for operators working in plainclothes environments. Glock 22, an earlier-issue sidearm chambered in a different caliber, used before the wider shift toward the Glock 19. It represents an earlier generation of sidearm doctrine before smaller, higher-capacity 9mm platforms became the preferred standard across special operations. Sig Sauer P226/M, 17 sidearms referenced in various operator accounts, offering an alternative platform to the Glock line. The P226 in particular has a long history with U.S. Navy special operations, and its presence in some Delta accounts reflects cross-pollination of equipment between different special operations units. 1911 pattern pistol, a legacy sidearm still favored by some individual operators for its trigger feel, even decades after it stopped being standard issue. Its single-action trigger offers a lighter, more precise pull than most modern service pistols, which is why some veteran operators continued carrying customized versions well into the modern era. HK-MP7, a compact personal defense weapon used where a full carbine is too large, but a pistol isn't enough firepower. It fires a specialized high-velocity round designed to defeat body armor at close range, making it useful for personal security details and vehicle crews. M249/MK46, a light machine gun providing sustained suppressive fire for a small team, often carried by a designated gunner. The MK46 variant strips down some of the standard SAW's furniture to reduce weight, reflecting special operations preference for a lighter, more mobile support weapon. M240/MK48, a medium machine gun offering heavier sustained fire than the SAW, used when more firepower is needed to hold a position. Firing a larger caliber round than the SAW, it trades portability for range and stopping power, typically used in vehicle-mounted or defensive roles. MK11/SR-25, a semi-automatic designated marksman rifle, giving a team precision fire at range without giving up rate of fire entirely. It bridges the gap between a standard rifle and a dedicated sniper system, letting a marksman engage multiple targets quickly rather than working one shot at a time. M110, a semi-automatic sniper system built for faster follow-up shots than a traditional bolt-action rifle. It became popular in the mid-2000s as urban operations increased the need for rapid re-engagement over the single, deliberate shots that bolt-action systems are built for. Barrett M82/M107, a 50 caliber anti-material rifle capable of disabling vehicles and equipment at very long range. Not just personnel, originally designed to destroy light vehicles, parked aircraft, and equipment from standoff distances. It's occasionally used against human targets as well when extreme range or armor penetration is required. Bolt Action .300 Win Mag .338 Lapua rifle precision sniper platforms, used for long-range engagements where accuracy matters more than rate of fire. These calibers extend effective range well beyond standard rifle rounds, letting a sniper engage targets at distances where a standard carbine would be completely ineffective. Breaching shotgun not used as a primary weapon, but to blow door hinges and locks open in seconds during forced entry. Loaded with specialized breaching rounds, rather than standard buckshot, it disintegrates a lock or hinge without over-penetrating into the room beyond, protecting anyone on the other side of the door. M320/M203, 40 mm grenade launchers mounted under a rifle, giving a single operator an explosive option without carrying a separate weapon. This lets a rifleman switch between direct fire and an explosive round in seconds, useful for engaging targets behind cover. MK47, an automatic grenade launcher providing area suppression, typically mounted on a vehicle or tripod rather than carried by hand. It can fire grenades rapidly enough to suppress an entire area, often used to support a team pinned down or moving through open ground. PVS-31, binocular night vision goggles mounted on the helmet, giving both eyes depth perception in the dark. Unlike older single-tube designs, this binocular design dramatically improves depth perception and reduces the eye strain and disorientation that plagued earlier monocular night vision systems. PEQ-15 infrared laser/illuminator projects an aiming laser invisible to the naked eye, but clearly visible through night vision, letting operators aim without looking down their sights. This means an operator wearing night vision can point-shoot accurately from awkward positions, since the laser does the aiming rather than a traditional sight picture. Aimpoint micro/low power variable scope, a fast, always-on red dot, or 1:6 power scope for quick target acquisition in close to mid-range engagements. The always-on red dot allows both eyes open shooting, which is significantly faster in a room-clearing scenario than a traditional magnified scope. Offset iron sight, a backup sighting system angled to the side of the main optic, used instantly if the primary optic fails or for extreme close-range shots. By simply canting the rifle slightly, an operator can switch to these sights in a fraction of a second without removing the primary optic. Minimalist plate carrier built for speed and mobility rather than maximum coverage, reflecting the unit's preference for fast, short-duration raids over sustained firefights. Less material means less weight and heat retention, both of which matter enormously during a fast-paced assault, where speed can matter more than maximum ballistic coverage. Rifle-rated ceramic or polyethylene plates inserted front and back of the carrier, capable of stopping rifle rounds that soft armor alone cannot. Ceramic plates shatter to absorb the energy of a rifle round, while newer polyethylene designs achieve similar protection at a significantly lighter weight. Ballistic helmet protects against fragmentation and provides a mounting platform for night vision and communications equipment. Modern versions use the same lightweight composite materials as body armor plates, balancing protection against the added weight of night vision and comms gear mounted on top. Throat mic picks up vibrations from the throat rather than ambient sound, letting an operator communicate in a whisper, even during gunfire. Because it senses vibration rather than sound waves, it functions clearly even in extremely loud environments, where a standard microphone would be useless. In-ear headset combines hearing protection with sound amplification, so operators can hear commands and footsteps while still being protected from gunfire noise. These systems amplify quiet sounds like footsteps or whispers, while instantly clipping loud sounds like gunshots, protecting hearing without cutting off situational awareness. Team Tactical Radio connects the whole team together, allowing coordinated movement without shouting or hand signals in the dark. This lets a team spread out through a building or compound while staying in constant contact, coordinating movement floor by floor or room by room. IFAC, individual first aid kit, carried by every operator, built around stopping catastrophic blood loss in the first 60 seconds after a gunshot wound. Its design reflects hard lessons from decades of combat medicine, prioritizing the interventions statistically most likely to save a life in the first critical minute. Tourniquet, the single most important item in the kit, capable of stopping arterial bleeding in a limb within seconds of application. Modern combat tourniquets can be applied one-handed, meaning a wounded operator can treat themselves even without immediate help. Hemostatic gauze packed into a wound to accelerate clotting in places a tourniquet cannot reach, like the torso or neck. It's treated with a chemical agent that dramatically speeds up the body's natural clotting process at the wound site. Chest seal, an airtight seal applied over a chest wound to prevent a collapsed lung from a penetrating injury. Left untreated, a penetrating chest wound can let air build up around the lung and collapse it, which the seal prevents by closing the wound airtight.